Hello, it's Easter Day, and yay, which is great. As Bronwyn always loves to point out, it's not technically Easter Sunday, it's Easter Day. That's the correct term for it.
It is.
That's right. We're here just having some Easter eggs. So
There were more in the bowl.
there were more actually, yeah. There's not many left really. Anyway, would you like an Easter egg?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
We're going to turn into an Easter egg. if we're not careful.
Well, what did we? So last night we thought we've got three teenagers, and we decided that we would late last night, that we'd actually hide some Easter eggs
After they'd gone to bed.
After they'd gone to bed,
Yeah.
even though we probably wouldn't normally do that for three teenagers, but we did anyway.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we don't always have an Easter egg
Maybe
hunt here in
last
our house, do we?
Maybe last year we didn't. I don't
I
know.
think so. But we did. We hid 40 Easter eggs, and we then got them
was
to
so much
look for them
fun.
this morning. It was, yeah. They loved going around and finding them in various locations that we popped them in. Much of them up on the in sort of the backyardish deck thing that we hid them, and a few of them melted, and that was fun. But yeah, so we've been sort of slightly rationing out Easter eggs, but not very much. So they probably had about 4 or 5 now each, maybe. Maybe one of them's had
like
more.
A lot, does it?
No, but they're pretty big. Yeah, but I guess we have to make sure that we don't have too many. I'm going to have mine now. Yeah, that's what we've done. We're going to be having church tonight, and actually tonight at church we're going to be having sort of the live streamed or the streamed service, and then we're going to be joining together with people on Zoom, which is no ultimate substitute for the real thing, but it's all right. It's good. It's good to see people. I'm just opening up my Easter egg very slowly.
But you're going to be at another church.
Yes, but I'm going to, yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to be Zooming with the people because I've been asked to do a bit of a Q&A with my friend Dan in Canberra, who is a pastor of a church called Stromlo Church in Canberra. He's going to be doing a service followed by a Q&A. So I'm going to be zoomed into that Q&A. So I guess I can go to one church and then instantly be in a church in Canberra, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
If that's, yeah. But is it a gathering or not? I don't know. There's a whole lot of questions I want to actually ask of my fellow Moore College friends, and we're going to sort of try and talk about this. Is this gathering, or what is it, and what's the because it's good, it's encouraging, but it's not the same as church. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be. So what are the elements that makes it church? If you're not physically gathering, can you still gather? Like, we are gathered around the throne in heaven, but we're not doing that physically, are we?
That's the great
But that
reality.
is church. So maybe you can say that even though we're not physically gathering, we're still having church. If we're doing it online.
Exactly. They're all the kind of questions that I want to talk about. Yeah, I don't know, and I'd like to learn about some of those things. We were talking before about Easter, and how the funny thing about Easter is it's one of these things that we do each year, obviously. But we were talking about the fact that so Jesus didn't actually rise from the dead today.
Ah.
You did that deliberately. Didn't actually rise from the dead today. Like, that is on this particular day, whatever it is, the 12th of April 2020. He actually rose from the dead 2,000 years ago. And we didn't rise from the dead today. We won't have that great resurrection until Jesus returns. So what we're doing is we're remembering that Jesus rose from the dead. We're celebrating it. Normally we'd come together, and we're not coming together, but we are remembering and celebrating and taking joy in the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. But kind of life didn't change between yesterday and today, really, in reality.
Yeah, Jesus was alive yesterday, and he's alive today in the same
the same way.
state. This, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He actually did rise from the dead that time 2,000 years ago, but...
So it's like Easter Day every day.
In many ways.
So we should eat Easter eggs every day.
Thank you. Unless we
You
want
have the
to turn
blue one,
into
I'll
an
have the
Easter egg.
pink one.
Okay. Yeah, but what we was kind of saying that because, you know, like Easter Day is a day to be joyful, but it's kind of a bit meh, isn't it? In some
This
ways.
year?
This year, yeah, that's right. Well, it's also really joyous. It's really wonderful that Jesus rose from the dead. It's always very joyful, and it's great to remember that. But also, you know,
We're in isolation.
we're in isolation, and so, and we're not going through things that a lot of other people in the world are going through, and we're very thankful to God for that. In terms of, you know, huge amounts of displacement and death and all sorts of things, but it's still hard
There was
for us.
There was a policeman sat in his car watching people walking along.
That's right, because we went. You mean when we went out for a walk
When we
today?
went for a walk,
We went
yeah.
for a walk
So,
as a family of 5.
as Aussies, we feel on edge when we see police,
Yeah,
given our heritage.
yeah. They were watching people going for a walk and checking that we weren't doing anything wrong. And fair enough, they should be,
Yeah.
because that's really important.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Harry.
Do you want to join us?
Do you want to join us? We're having a recording.
We're trying to get the Minecraft accounts working for our Christian Minecraft server. And the old one that I used to use has your email address, so in case it emails you or something, that's what that's about.
Oh, right,
I'm
okay.
giving it to Sam so he can use it.
Fine. Okay. So cool. Thank you.
Easy.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So there was that, but I mean, and even before we went, one of the things about being isolated is that it gives us a chance just to be reflective and contemplate, and that's good and not so good, because when you reflect and contemplate, you can start to feel things from the past and everything. So that's been hard. Just
Yeah, you can end up navel gazing, can't you?
yeah, but it's helpful to do that. You know, so Harry is a real extrovert, and he's missing his friends a huge amount. So he's able to spend time with them doing Minecraft, obviously, like we just heard. But, you know, whatever he's doing is nowhere near as good as what he'd really want to be doing, and is actually seeing them.
Yeah, and what he would have been doing is going to China tomorrow on a school trip. So
That's right.
we feel sad about that.
Yeah. Yep. And he's not sure if he wants to have another non-voyage party. He just goes, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ellie's spending a lot, you know, time watching TV, and fair enough. And we went for a walk today because we just wanted to get out of the house. But, you know, the motivation even just to get out of the house is not gigantic. So trying to get us all out of the house at the same time, and then when you get us all out of the house at the same time,
Cops are watching you.
the cops are watching you because there's 5 of you. And so you go, okay, but the sunshine's nice. That was good. And we've got some sunshine out there, which is good. Oh, there's the bass guitar too. But at the same time, that's not great. It's not great that we're cooped up, and I'm starting to feel, I think I'm feeling grief. And it's not like gigantic grief, it's just, you know, you just wake up and you go, oh, you know, that heavy sense of loss. And it's just grief for loss of little things. I am very grateful that no one close to me has died of the coronavirus. And that is true for many people, and that would be a much deeper grief. But it is that small grief at loss, which is just what you feel, and it demotivates you. And
Yeah, I think the initial excitement of change is one thing, but after a while,
yeah,
you do realise what you've lost through the things changing.
Yeah, that's right. So there are all those things. But Jesus is risen from the dead, and the thing that I know I was talking about this with Pete Orr, my colleague here at college back on Thursday. There's that verse in Mark chapter 16 that we read this morning, where the angel says to the women, "He is risen, he is not here." And those words, "he is risen," are wonderful. Those words, "he is not here," are also wonderful, because we are prone to, and quite rightly, take a lot of comfort in the fact that God is with us by his Spirit. So God being with us, God's presence with us, is a great comfort. But actually, God's absence, Christ's absence, Jesus' absence, is also a great comfort. And the reason it's a comfort is because he's overcome death. And when...
So if he was here,
yeah,
he'd be dead.
He'd be dead. Or if he was here before he died and rose from the dead, he would be still subject to this death-bound world. And he'd be among us.
But not changing anything.
Not changing anything. He'd have no power. So he is the kind of leader who's gone before us, who isn't actually subject to death and disease and isolation and all the disintegration of life and futility that comes to us.
Well, not anymore, because he was.
He was
subject
he
to
was.
it, but
yes. And he was crucified and he's overcome it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So how does that give us hope?
Because
yay for him.
Yeah.
Right? But how is it good for us?
Yeah. Because our body... This is the question I asked of Pete Orr as well.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Do you know the answer?
No.
Our body...
Well, I could probably
reckon
think
you
about
do.
it. I could probably think about it, but I'd rather you just say.
Yeah, our bodies will be made like his body. We have the hope of our own resurrection. Because
he said that...
Yeah, because he made that promise. And then he rose from the dead.
Right. So it's not just that happened and then we have to work out what it means. He's actually said it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, you probably can't hear it, depending on how good this microphone is, but there's a trumpet playing. And I know what that trumpet is. It's the trumpet of Zach, who's around on Little Queen Street. It's the students just around the corner from us who, at a certain time, what is it? 3:30. There you go. Yep, 3:30 on a Sunday and some other days as well. They live in a whole row of terrace houses on both sides of Little Queen Street, and they just sing Christian songs. And Zach plays his trumpet and a few others, I think. We did join them by walking over to Little Queen Street and singing with them, singing Christian songs about the hope we have in the gospel. But we can't do that anymore, really. But
they can stand in their doorways.
They can stand in their doorways. They can do it because they're in their houses, so they can just sing to each other across the way. But they're expressing their hope, and it's not just a vague wish. It's a hope based on Jesus' resurrection. That's real, and that is real. But it doesn't make life fantastic for us now necessarily. It's a hope, and it's a comfort. And he is with us because he's with us. Jesus is with us by his Spirit and his word, and that's a real truth that he's with us. But also, he's not with us, which in that sense physically is a great comfort because he is not subject to death and decay.
That's helpful.
So both those things, yeah. This is the new normal, people are saying. And I've also been reflecting, I was just saying before that, well, actually, it's yes, in one sense it's the new normal, but in another sense, actually, we're not really living in a new normal. We're just living in a situation where we're realizing, and it's more obvious what the normal is. The normal is that we're living in a world subject to death, decay, futility, sadness, and that's normal. And what's new is that we're realizing it. And there's other times, and I don't want to be realising it as much, but it is helpful to realise that. So, yeah.
Thanks.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say? I've just been, there's our little Easter message. My screen's just gone blank here. I don't know why. I don't know whether that means it's stopped recording, but I don't think it has. I hope not, anyway. What else do you want to say?
So, well, I don't know.
Okay. We're all out of Easter eggs in this bowl. But we have other Easter eggs. But then the dietitians are saying that we have to not be grazing or we're in danger of grazing and comfort eating too much. But it's Easter Day, so we can have a few more Easter eggs. But still, yeah, that's anyway.
So in pandemic adjusted terms, we're okay.
Yes. Yes. And Jesus risen from the dead. And that's great. But still, here we are.